Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to our channel, where we tackle the pressing issues of our time through the lens of America's 250-year history. The Constitution, the Declaration of Independence, all the amendments, and the timeless insights of the Federalist Papers. Today, as of October 13th, 2025, we're diving into one of the most critical battles for liberty: gun control pushback and the defense of the Second Amendment. With recent Supreme Court decisions continuing to shape the landscape, such as the court's agreement to hear a Hawaii case on carrying guns on private property without permission, and its rejection of other gun rights challenges while leaving assault weapons bans in limbo, we're seeing a renewed assault on our right to bear arms. We'll analyze these developments, tie them to the founders' vision of an armed populace as a check on tyranny from Federalist No. 46. Highlight crime stats from the FBI's 2025 reports, showing mixed trends with violent crime down overall but persistent urban hotspots. And compare public backlash to the 1994 Brady Bill with today's polls where over 60% oppose new restrictions. Let's defend the Republic. First, let's ground ourselves in the Second Amendment itself. A well-regulated militia, being necessary to the security of a free state, the right of the people to keep and bear arms, shall not be infringed. Ratified in 1791 as part of the Bill of Rights, this amendment wasn't about hunting or sport. It was about self-defense, resistance to tyranny, and maintaining a balance of power between the people and the government. James Madison, in Federalist No. 46, argued that an armed citizenry would deter federal overreach, noting that Americans possessed the advantage of being armed, which the Americans possess over the people of almost every other nation. This was born from the Revolutionary War experience, where colonial militias, ordinary citizens with their own guns, stood against British regulars. Fast forward 250 years, and we're still fighting to preserve that right amid a barrage of gun control measures from blue states and federal bureaucrats. The Supreme Court has been a key battleground in 2025. On October 3rd, 2025, the court agreed to hear a case challenging a Hawaii law that bars people from carrying guns on private property without the owner's permission. This stems from a post-Bruin wave of litigation, where the court's text, history, and tradition test for gun laws has struck down modern restrictions lacking historical analogues. In March 2025, the court heard arguments in Bondi v. Vanderstock, a case questioning whether the Gun Control Act's regulations apply to ghost guns, firearm kits assembled at home. The ruling, expected later in 2025, could limit ATF's ability to redefine firearms without congressional approval. Earlier, on June 2nd, 2025, the court rejected 2 gun rights cases, but hinted that assault weapons bans, like Illinois' 2023 law, might return soon, potentially in a challenge to Maryland's ban or others. The 11th Circuit's March 2025 en banc decision upholding Florida's ban on selling firearms to under-20s is also under petition, with conservatives hoping for a reversal. These cases build on landmark victories like New York State Rifle and Pistol Association versus Bruin, which struck down may-issue concealed carry laws, and United States versus Rahimi, which upheld disarming domestic abusers but reaffirmed individual rights. Logical conclusion: the court is pushing back against arbitrary bans, aligning with the Second Amendment's plain text. But blue states persist. California's sensitive places, expansions, and New York's post-Bruin licensing hurdles face ongoing suits. Opinion: this is federalism at work, but without vigilant defense, elites will chip away at rights, echoing the founders' fears in Federalist No. 84 of a Bill of Rights being necessary to prevent government encroachment. Now let's turn to crime stats, because gun control advocates always claim more laws mean less violence. The FBI's 2025 reported crimes in the nation. Statistics, released August 5th, 2025, show national violent crime decreased an estimated 4.5% in 2024 compared to 2023, with murder down 7.4%, rape down 16.3%, robbery down 4.3%, and aggravated assault down 6.0%. Property crime fell 8.1%. This continues a post-2020 pandemic spike decline, with the Council on Criminal Justice's mid-year 2025 update noting an 8% drop in domestic violence and varying city trends. However, conservatives point to revisions and urban pockets where crime persists. For instance, a stealth edit to 2022 data revealed a 4.5% increase in violent crime that year, per FBI adjustments uncovered in October 2024. In cities like Chicago, the 2025 report shows gun violence down, but still high 631 incidents in June 2025, a 49% reduction from August 2023 peaks, but far above pre-pandemic levels. The FBI's Crime Data Explorer highlights that while overall trends are down, certain areas buck the trend. Rural and urban alike face polydrug issues tied to fentanyl, with violent crime-solved rates at just 44% in 2024. SafeHome.org's 2025 crime rates report notes violent crime at 20-year lows, but motor vehicle theft down 20% masks persistent issues in blue cities with lax prosecution. Logical. Gun control doesn't correlate with safety states, with strict laws like California saw property crime declines, but ongoing gang violence, while permitless carry states like Florida report lower rates. Opinion. Arming law-abiding citizens deters crime, per the founders' militia vision. Disarming them invites tyranny and chaos, like Shays' Rebellion, where armed farmers pushed for reforms. Public response has evolved since the 1994 Brady Handgun Violence Prevention Act, which mandated background checks and waiting periods. Back then, backlash was fierce. The NRA mobilized millions, and the 1994 midterms saw Republicans gain Congress, partly on gun rights. Polls from 1994 showed 52% favoring stricter laws, but opposition grew as crime fell without bans. Today, 2025 polls reflect shifting sentiment. A Pew Research Center survey from April 2025 found 60% of Americans oppose banning handguns, with 58% saying gun ownership does more to protect than endanger. Gallup's October 2025 poll shows 56% believe stricter laws would not reduce mass shootings, up from 47% in 2019. On X, recent searches for gun control opposition 2025 reveal trending posts. Users like @NRA cite FBI data to argue crime down without bans, with polls from Rasmussen showing 62% of likely voters opposing new restrictions post-2025 SCOTUS hints. Compare that to the Brady Bill era's public outrage protests at Capitol Hill, boycotts of Hollywood gun grabbers. Today's response is digital. X polls from September 2025 show 65% opposing assault weapons bans, with hashtags like #2A Forever garnering 2 million views. The 2024 election saw gun rights as a key issue, with Republicans gaining ground in swing states on promises to block Biden-era ATF rules. Logical. As crime trends down, overall, public trust in self-defense rises, mirroring post-Civil War amendments emphasizing individual rights. The 14th Amendment's Due Process Clause, incorporated to the states in McDonald v. Chicago, protects gun ownership as fundamental. From a conservative viewpoint, gun control is about control, not safety. Blue State's 2025 pushes like Illinois' assault weapons, ban facing federal challenges, ignore that criminals don't obey laws. The FBI reports 2024 gun homicides at 14,000, down from 2020's peak, but 80% involve handguns, not assault rifles. Yet Democrats target AR-15s, which FBI data shows are used in under 400 murders yearly. Opinion: this is disarmament by increments, violating the Second Amendment, shall not be infringed. Hamilton and Federalist No. 29 defended militias as the people at large, not just National Guard. Today's pushback includes lawsuits from groups like GOA and FPC, with 2025 victories in lower courts, striking large-capacity magazine bans in Colorado and Washington. Historical comparisons abound. In the 1790s, the Militia Acts required citizens to own guns for defense, reflecting the Declaration's right to alter abusive governments. The Civil War era saw armed freedmen under the 13th and 14th Amendments, resisting KKK tyranny. Fast forward to 1994. The Brady Bill's 5-day wait was struck down in Prince v. United States as unfunded mandate. Today's equivalent? ETF's 2024 framer-receiver rule, challenged in Vanderstock, could fall similarly. Public backlash mirrors. 1994 saw 1 million new NRA members. 2025, gun sales hit 15 million per NSSF. Amid crime fears, urban crime stats underscore the need for defense. While national violent crime fell 4.5% in 2024, cities like Washington, D.C., saw a 39% homicide increase in 2023 before dipping in 2025. The CSG Justice Center's 2025 data shows 44% violent crime solved, leaving victims vulnerable. In Chicago, carjackings dropped 49% mid-2025, but role of armed citizens? Concealed carry permits rose 20% post-Bruin. Logical. Armed populace deters. Per John Lott's More Guns, Less Crime studies, showing 1 to 4% crime drops with the right to carry laws. By the way, if this defense of the Second Amendment is resonating, and you want more on threats to liberty like election integrity, or China's main ops smash like, subscribe, and click the notification bell for new content alerts. Pushback strategies. Advocate for nationwide reciprocity on carry permits per the Second Amendment's full faith and credit. Challenge red flag laws lacking due process, violating the Fifth Amendment. Educate on history. Founders like Madison saw arms as liberty's teeth. Opinion: train militias constitutionally. Don't let elites disarm us while borders leak cartels. In conclusion, with SCOTUS defending rights amid falling crime, push back hard.